Oh my god, I just messed up my chance. Hello and welcome back to my little space on the internet. My name is Lucy, and if you're watching this video then I'm guessing that either one, you have been successful and you've just received an email to say that you are going through to the pre-screens for the Cultural Representative Programme, which is very exciting, so congratulations. Or number two, you're just someone who's quite like me and just wants to be super prepared. Or three, you're probably just stumbled across this and thought, let's watch this girl look really stupid in Minnie Mouse ears who's sat in England. Either way, thank you for being here. So today I'm going to be going through what you can expect at the pre-screen interview, which is another word of saying group interview. I personally had never heard of this term before applying for the Disney programs, but here we are. This is something that is purely based on my experience. I've gone through 2 Disney program processes now. I've completed 1 program and I'm yet to go on my next one over in July. So this is purely based on the process of going for those things. They are very similar, there is a slight difference between them, but between the Cultural Exchange Programme and the Cultural Representative Programme, if you're applying for either or, might as well watch this video because it just gives you a bit more insight into what it's like going and being interviewed by Yummyjobs. So disclaimer, I do not work for Yummyjobs, this is just an experience story, and if you can take some tips from this then by all means please do. However, don't take this as God's word that this is how your interview is going to go down, because there is no guarantee. They can change it whenever they want. So, but for the most part I think this is pretty relevant. I have my my little Disney London notepad here because I have the memory of a sieve. I actually applied for my program over in December of 2017. As I say, I'm not going until July 2019, so it was a long process, but I will link my process video somewhere on here to give you that oversight. But I basically got my pre-screen email on the 11th of January, and I had applied in December. So it was a couple of weeks, including Christmas, before we got replies, and then the final interview was on the 29th of January. On the email it did say that it was from 9:30 AM till 5:30 PM at the absolute latest, but I don't think anyone was there until that late. Thank God. However, I will say if you are booking transport home, and especially if you don't live in London, which is where the interview is going to be, by all means book quite a late train or whatever transport you're going home by, just in case it does overrun. And then, I mean, if you have extra time, then enjoy London. There's lots to do and lots to see, and if you are fortunate enough to get on the programme, then maybe you can tell some guests what London is really like. Before the pre-screen, so likelihood is that you've probably been on Facebook, you may be part of a group chat or a Facebook group for applicants who are applying at the same time as you. Most likely this won't be an official group run by Yummyjobs or Disney, it's purely what applicants make amongst themselves, and it's a great way to communicate. So if you are travelling from outside of London to Yummyjobs, the interview process will be going on in Essex, in Epping. If you are travelling down, this is a great way to sort of communicate with other people and arrange like a hotel if you want to share with people, just a general time of when people are arriving and things like that. When it was my group, and both processes as we've done this, and we actually met up at the Starbucks or the Costa, which is opposite Yummyjobs, just about 30 minutes before, so that we can have like a mix and a mingle. And you know, even though these are people who you're competing against, it's definitely not the Hunger Games, and most likely these people are either going to be your colleagues or your friends. At both my pre-screens I did meet people who, even if I didn't do the Disney programs, I would still be friends with. So go in with an open mind and a positive attitude, because it really does reward you at the end. And if it does mean stepping outside your comfort zone, do it. What's the worst that could happen? You know, if you don't get the job, then you're never going to see these people again, and it's not the end of the world. Our time was 9:30, and at about 9:15 people started lining up outside of the headquarters. I will insert a photo of Yummyjobs here. It is above a shop. It is a tiny magical doorway that leads to the possibility of working at Walt Disney World. But so people do start to queue outside about 15 minutes before the time. One of their representatives will come down, walk you up the very skiddy staircase, and they will give you a sticker that has your name on it, your group interview time, and then your one-to-one interview time. So there are sort of about three stages of this day. So to be fair, yeah, it probably does take maybe that long. I don't think I was there till 5:30 though. So once you've got your sticker, you're wearing it with pride, not on your hair hopefully, then there is a presentation screen, and there's about 50 seats I want to say set out. In my interview there's probably between 35 to 45 people. It wasn't completely full. I will say bring a pen, bring a notebook and a pen, because you will need them to take down any information. When I went both times they did give us a sheet, there's a little photo of me, that has all the info about like your pay, the different roles, housing costs, airfare, background checks, etc. So this is basically most of the information they give to you on a printout, but if you want to take any extra notes, makes you look like a keen one, then by all means do write it down. Does not have to be in a Disney themed notebook, but this was £3 from the Disney store and I thought I gotta have that. So before you watch anything, they will do a very short quiz. If you don't get any of the answers to these questions or you don't raise your hand, don't worry, that doesn't mean that you're going to be out of the chances of winning. It's just sort of like an icebreaker, and it's like, when was Walt Disney World opened? How many bricks is the Cinderella's castle made out of, which is 0 if you don't know. It is made of fiberglass, so no real bricks. So fun questions like that, and then I think they give out like chocolates and stuff, which is cool. And then you watch the video presentation, and that's where you could be making your notes, and then after that they will split you up into your groups for your timings. If you don't have your interviews sort of straight away, then you do have to leave Yummyjobs, so that's when people go back to Costa or Starbucks and relax until about 5 minutes before your interview time. Do head back over and they will let you up again. The first thing is the group interview. This you sit in a little semicircle. There's usually about 6 to 8 people I want to say, and you basically introduce yourself first of all to the person next to you, and then rather than you giving your information to everyone else, you have to introduce the person who is next to you. So this definitely is showing listening, learning and speaking skills. So very important to brush up your short-term memory. I don't have a good one, as I've said numerous times, so I actually managed to get all of my information out on who I was interviewing, so that was great. And then they're going to want you to show your hometown item. So for my hometown item, as I am from a little town that's on the very edge of London, I bought a London city guide. So the reason why I bought this was because I really wanted to make a point that a lot of the guests who do come to Walt Disney World who aren't from the UK will probably, you know, if they are going to head there, are going to pick up a travel guide. And I personally think travel guides are kind of useless, because especially for London at least, because it is such a fast-paced city. I think by the time a travel guide is created, printed and published, it's out of date. So they need to speak to someone who definitely knows the city and can really give in-depth ideas of places to go, things to do. So instead of, you know, going to Buckingham Palace, which your typical tourist guide would tell you to do, as someone from the southeast of London, I highly recommend going to somewhere called Eltham Palace. And this is a place that actually Henry VIII used to grow up there as a child. So there's lots of heritage. It's very Art Deco style, so it's something a bit different to your regular castles and palaces that you'd find in central London. So once you're done introducing your item, we just sort of go around and talk about everyone's sort of experience in terms of, you know, if you have a preferred role, why it may be so, what your motivation is for the program, very much what you would have put on your online application. So do remember what you've written, of course do not rehearse it, but of course if you've said something very specific as a reason that that's your motivation, but like it's best to like reiterate that then in your interview, just because it will probably trigger for them to know who you are. And so the next part, you will be split into 2 groups within your little miniature group. So there's probably groups of about 3 to 4 people, and we were asked, one half was actually asked to design an attraction for the UK Pavilion, whilst my team was actually asked to organise a housing event that would represent the UK Pavilion. So this isn't so much about what you plan, it's more about the fact that you're clearly displaying that you can work as a team, that you're confident, that you can listen to others, that you can work together, and also on the spot add a bit of creativity to the situation, and problem solving. That's a very big one, is problem solving. But yeah, my team, we had a real laugh with it. We decided to do a combo of things as opposed to just choosing like one film. So you would enter via like an inflatable slide, so it was like coming down the rabbit hole, and then there was like a Lost Boys party from Peter Pan, and then there was like Mad Hatter's tea party for the food. So yeah, I actually kind of want to go to the housing party that we designed, because it would be pretty cool, even if I do say so myself. So that's just a lot of fun, and I think that's what the group interview really is about. It's a lot of fun. Not that the final interview isn't a lot of fun, but that's when you are one-to-one directly with someone from Disney. But you know, whereas your online application was showing your experience and your skill set, the group interview is really putting that skill set into action and showing your personality, which, let's face it, if you're working at Disney, you definitely have like a positive personality and mentality, and that's really got to shine through in this. So that's why I say, if you can step out of your comfort zone, even if interviews do make you quite worried, but you know, you are usually someone who's like the life of the party, that even if you're not, you just, you know, you're just generally happy and smiley, but you're scared of interviews, please just let your natural personality shine through, because that's what they're really looking for at this stage. Or at least that's what I feel like they're looking for. I don't know what they're actually looking for. I don't know. So then after this, we were asked to sell an item that can be usually found in the UK Pavilion. So there were things like tea. I was giving Victoria sponge cake. I personally love cake, so I actually spoke a little about, of course, you know, what you can pair it with. You can have a high afternoon tea style. The fact that it was actually Queen Victoria's favourite cake, hence why it's called Victoria's sponge cake. So I sort of threw in a fact about it, which I just happen to know. As I say, I have a love for anything that's sweet. But yeah, and then I also sort of just tried to sell it, you know, the way it tastes, what you can have it with, when you can have it in the UK, and things like that. But there were some items which I was so happy that I didn't get, just because, I mean, yeah, I suppose I can't relate to them. One of them was beer. I hate beer, I don't drink it, so I wouldn't have really known how to have sold that. And another one was a football shirt. I mean, I know that we sell them in the UK Pavilion, so I'm gonna have to try and figure out some way of selling it. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Oh, and another one was a fry-up, so that would have been quite a good one to sell. Again, and then this is just kind of your on-the-spot, impromptu selling ability. I suppose in both roles you have to do, of course, merchandise is more so like, it feels more like pitchy environment, and then whereas the food and beverage is more like, yeah, like you're describing and stuff like that. And then once you've had your group interview, most likely you will have to go away again, leave Yummyjobs, and probably go back to Starbucks or Costa with some people, whilst you then have to wait for your one-to-one interview slot to swing around. So, and when it does, you'll just be, as I say, with just one of the recruiters from Yummyjobs, and one-to-one interview. This one, you know, I had Luke, he was very lovely, and he just, you know, said like, oh, how are you enjoying today, because it's something to enjoy, like how are you getting on. Obviously, because I had done a previous Disney program, a lot of the questions that I feel like they would typically ask, or well, he did ask them, but he kind of knew that I would already have the answer to them. weren't as stressed. So like, you know, how would you deal with working in Florida? Like, I've already worked in Florida, I know what it's like. It's hot, it's stressful sometimes, but you just gotta get through it. Another question was, you know, what is it like? Will you be able to basically live away from home, and will you be able to live with people from different cultures? On my past Disney program, I actually did live with 7 other girls, but we were all from the UK, so, and 3 of them I had already previously met, but so it wasn't that much of like a culture clash. But I have also studied in Canada, and then the people who were living in my apartment, that was definitely a cultural experience. So yeah, I was definitely familiar with what that would be like. And then they sort of again go over questions that were in the online application. So why do you want to do this program? Why specifically Disney? Why specifically the CRP? You know, Yummyjobs offers a lot of programs, so why this one? There was one question that sort of made me think like, oh my god, I just messed up my chances. Like, I sound like an idiot. And that would have to be when I was then asked, what would I take from the experience of doing my past program into this new program if I was fortunate enough to do it? And straight away, not even thinking, didn't even have a hesitation, not like a brief pause, I just went, sleeping. Going to America to work, to share my culture, enjoy Florida, enjoy Disney World, and what do I say that I'm gonna do? Sleep. And I had to quickly recover from this. Like, yes, I am known as a queen of napping, but I did not want to make them think that this is all I would be doing if I was given the chance to go to Florida. So what I did actually mean by sleeping is the fact that it's very important, if you do go on one of these programs, that you find the healthy balance between sleeping, eating, working, and having fun. Like, these 4 things that, you know, you pretty much just want to be having fun. Like, that's it. But the other 3 things are so important. I can't stress enough. So like, he got what I meant by sleeping. But yeah, that for a moment there I was literally like, wow. Pat on the back, Lucy, for the world's stupidest answer in an interview. But hey ho, something went well. And then I think it was just a couple weeks later we actually got our interviews, or should I say we got our emails to say that we were going on to the final interviews for the programs, which is absolutely insane. And yeah, very exciting. If you have any questions, please drop them down below if you've got to this stage, or you're just, as I say, planning way in advance, like something that I would do, then by all means drop little comments down below and I would be happy to answer any questions. Again, I don't work for Yummyjobs, but I feel like I've now done it a couple of times. I feel like I have a good idea of what I'm talking about, but if there's anything that I feel like Yummyjobs can definitely help with more than I can, then I will point you in the right direction. But yes, so next week's video is going to be all about the final interview, which is usually at Disney HQ. What I will say, it's quite similar to, you know, the final question, or at least the answer that I gave to my final question in my pre-screen. My final interview didn't go like usual interviews will go, and I suppose that's kind of where I'll leave it, because I have to thoroughly explain that in a video, because yeah, I came out and the Yummyjobs recruiter was like, this has never happened before, and I was like, okay. So on that note, on Friday I'm going to be uploading my final video from travelling after my past Disney program, and we are going to San Francisco, and I really like San Francisco a lot more than I thought I would, and yeah, it was absolutely stunning. So tune in on Friday for that, and next Monday the video that is going to be coming from my past Disney program is going to be 4 parks in one day, so that was a hell of a lot of fun, and again very eventful but very hilarious. So yes, I guess I will be seeing you real soon. Bye!